Hi everybody, welcome to the dungeon. My name is Robin and today is Flameworking 102.65 Drop Gather Beads. Sometimes it isn't easy coming up with great color combinations if you don't already know about them. When I am looking at colors and I start to get overwhelmed with all the rods that I have back here, what I will do is just look for a 3-color combination and go from there. And this time I'm going to be putting everything on one color and building up my gather, and that's it. It's a really quick and simple way to figure out the best color choices for you. And of course, when you find the ones that are your favorites, make sure you write them down. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy this one. It's quick, it's fun, and some of the combinations can be so magical. And with that said, I hope you're all doing safe and well out there. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time in the dungeon. All right, I'm going to start everything out by heating up a little bit of this opal yellow. And this all really depends on the size of the bead you want to make. That will determine the size of this first bit of glass, this first gather. So for me, this is going to be a larger size bead, just so you guys can see, the colors and everything up close at the end. So this is about maybe a ½ an inch big of this yellow that I'm going to start out with. And then I'm going to spiral on top of that some of this double helix color I have called Ekho 2. I'm sure any other colors would work great with this combination. And then I'm going to just let that heat up and soak those colors in. And this kind of superheating here of the double helix seems to be important, like getting it white hot and then cool rapidly seems to bring colors out. Anyway, on top of that, once I have it all melted in there, I'm going to add some of the gold ruby or gold pink going from the bottom to the top, just the opposite. I'm going to do 3 swipes of this gold ruby, and just this combination alone looks really, really beautiful. You could substitute any of these colors out, of course, and come up with anything you like. And this is also a really great and easy, quick way to determine if you have a color combination that works for you and that you like. So once I have heated that up and rolled it out into the marble mold just to kind of smooth everything out, I am also going to add some clear right on top of the double helix. And it doesn't matter if it gets on top of the ruby or not. Just going to get those 3 bits of clear in there. And this is what will give you the depth. And, some colors look very different under clear. So I think it's always fun to add a little bit of clear into your 3-color combination. And then from here, I'm just going to continue to heat and then just get it ready into a nice shape. I'm using the marble mold, but I'm just getting it back into a shape that I can drop this gather onto my mandrel. So I'm spending a lot of time just heating this up. And as I'm heating it up, I am also heating up my mandrel. And I'm not heating up one part of the mandrel, but I'm heating up the whole mandrel. So I don't get any bubbles and it becomes kind of more tacky for the glass to stick to. All right, so I'm just continuing to heat this up, taking my time, and I am also kind of letting the top half elongate a little bit. And now I'm going to drop it. This is in real time. I'm going to slowly turn and then I'm going to flip my bundle over and then continue to heat and slowly attach that to the mandrel. And then where the rod is, you'll just kind of take that off at the end. And you should just have what you swirled up on your mandrel now. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to very gently start to heat this up. And when I am working, I tend to work and roll very, very slowly. Well, maybe not slowly, but I work as fast as the glass is moving, if that makes any sense. So if the glass is not moving very much, I'm turning very slowly. And if the glass begins to get really, really super hot, I might have to turn a little faster, but I'm only turning so much. And then when I'm rolling on this marvering pad, I am also rolling, fairly slow, but I am also trying to not only roll the whole bead out into a slightly longer, more even shape, but I am also going to start to taper the edges and make this into a bicone bead. And you could spend a long time, working the sides on a bicone, but it's really just a matter of heating up one side, and I'm actually going to add a little bit more of this gold pink here. I felt like there were some naked spots. But when I am heating to then roll into a bicone shape, I'm rolling on kind of like the bias on the side, but at an angle. And that's why I like to use a raised up marvering pad like I have, because that allows my hand enough room to roll at that angle. All right, and that's our bead so far. You could stop right here with any of your beads that you have this gathering technique done. But as always, I do like to add clear on top, because that also changes the depth of the color. And because I added clear in here, it should help to kind of get these colors to become more watercolor like as they are, swimming together. So when I am doing my encasement, I am always heating up, and I do like to use a larger rod of clear, especially when I'm working on a longer bead. I will heat up the tip and get a nice little round gather and start from the top and swipe all the way down to the bottom, and I will overlap as I go. The most important thing here is that we don't want to smear the background colors. And the only reason why those colors would smear on me is if the underbead is too warm. That's the only reason. So you have to have faith and just trust the process. I hate that term, but you got to trust the process that the glass will stay, that the glass won't break as you're adding your layers on. There are times when you do have to heat up, the glass, especially if you hear it crack, you're immediately wanting to heat that up and kind of heal the crack. But as you're heating what am I trying to say here? When you are encasing, you are also adding heat to the bead. So anytime you're adding a hot swipe of glass, you're keeping the bead warm. So you don't have to worry as much. Flashing in the back of the heat real quick is fine, but you really want a solid underbead when you are encasing. Okay, that's my encasement rant. All right, so at this point, all I need to do here is smooth everything down, and I do my smoothing gently, because sometimes when you are swiping, you'll see little ridges in your glass, and it's usually because it's not a very even coating of clear. So what I like to do is heat the outside, the bumps first, and kind of roll those bumps out, and make sure that the clear coat is nice and even before I start to really, really, add some heat to it. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and start. I'm going into my bicone here. And I did get a comment from one of our lovely subscribers that is asking about the size of things. So I believe, I think the next demo, I will have a ruler. I'll have a ruler over here on the marvering pad so you'll be able to see the size better. But other than that, this is kind of like maybe 2 inches wide by maybe a half an inch, just for size judgment. All right. And, here at the end, I just wanted to reiterate that I really spend a lot of time doing my final shaping. So, yeah, take your time, have fun with this one, try all those interesting color combinations that you've been thinking about, and as always, don't forget to write them down. That's like super important. All right, here at the end, I'm just giving it one last good final heat before I put it away. And that is it for our 1-drop Color Magic swirl bead. And on that note, you guys, I hope you enjoy this one. Let me know what you think. And if you come up with any cool color combinations, let us know. We're always interested to share that knowledge here. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.